this is where the Speakers Institute was birthed. One of my clients, the name is Google, you might have heard of them. They said, Sam, we'd like to partner with you and you can launch it at our headquarters. I said, okay. So about 3 years ago, we launched Speakers Institute. And it was all purely organic. By me knowing that I had a message, by me then learning ways how to get that message out there rapidly, and then training a few speakers, and then it was just simply a supply and demand, which is why we've now launched it. So now here at the Speakers Institute, we have a curriculum. We now teach people how to master communication for influence. So we run 3-day boot camps, which are really, really intense. Like it's a transformational experience. It's our premier boot camp. Then we have 12-month programs. And it's all based on these 4 areas of our curriculum. The first level of the curriculum there is positioning, knowing how to position yourself well in the marketplace. What do you need to do to position yourself in this saturated market? Because there are people out there that can communicate better than you. There are people out there that are in exactly the same space that you're in, and they're vying for the same dollar that you're vying for as well. So what do you need to do to position yourself in the marketplace to stand out from the noise? It's quite interesting. I then won this award. I was a Young Australian of the Year, and the reason why I won it is because I was speaking in a lot of schools after my accident, and people thought, oh wow, that's really inspiring. You're going into schools, because a lot of the time I was actually doing it for charity. I was just simply doing it just to add value to that school, and so then I won this award. So then they flew me through to Canberra. Right here I am in Canberra. I'm about to meet the Prime Minister of Australia, Kevin Rudd. There at his home, there at the lodge there in Canberra. I'm thinking, wow, this is pretty cool. I'm about to meet the Prime Minister of Australia. But get this, I thought to myself, what can I do in order for the Prime Minister of Australia to remember me? Because as you guys know, PM probably meets hundreds of people every day, as if he remembers everyone that he meets. So I had one of my other arms on. Actually, get this right. I've got 8 arms all up. How many arms do you have? So this here is what they like to call a myoelectric arm. You guys have probably heard of it called a bionic arm. This arm here is the most advanced bionic arm in the world right now. It's the only one in Australia. It's worth over $120,000. Now get this right, I program it with my iPhone 6. Seriously, I have an app for my arm. If you guys downloaded the app right now, you can control my hand. So here I am, right, wearing one of my, and you can get different attachments. So I've got this one attachment for playing golf. I've also got this other attachment for playing 8-ball pool. Yeah, I've also got like this swimming arm. So it's like a little flipper, fits on the end of my stump. So I just start it up, put it behind me. No, not really. Actually, get this. Did you know that very soon the Paralympians will overtake the able-bodied Olympians? Do you know why? One thing we can do which you guys can't. One thing I can do which you can't. I can upgrade. Oh, yeah. Seriously, the way the technology is moving right now, there's already a guy out there, he's got no legs at all, 2 prosthetic legs, running a 100-metre sprint under 10 seconds flat. I mean, he killed his wife, but that's a whole other story. Sorry, that was a line, I've crossed that line. So I'm about to meet the Prime Minister of Australia, but I'm thinking, what can I do so the Prime Minister of Australia will never forget me? So I wore my cosmetic arm, so my hand looked exactly the same as my normal hand. I walked up to the Prime Minister of Australia. He didn't notice at all that I had a prosthetic arm. So as the Prime Minister of Australia went to shake my hand, again didn't notice, my hand came off into his hand. Glenn McGrath, who was there, Adam Gilchrist, Rove McManus, they saw what was happening and they just started cracking up laughing. The world's media came in, taking photos of the Prime Minister Kevin Rudd standing there holding my hand. You know, in his Australia Day speech, the Prime Minister of Australia, he said this. He said, look, today we're surrounded by very significant Australians. We have Aboriginal elders, we have community leaders, we have sports heroes. But nothing can ever beat the intro I had to Sam this morning, because when you meet Sam, it's an extraordinary experience, because when you shake his hand, he will leave his hand in your hand. And the Prime Minister of Australia, in his Australia Day speech, then looked over to me and he goes, and thanks, Sam, I'm still recovering from therapy today. But I suppose, actually here, let me just give you some evidence that this really did happen. As you can see, there's Adam Gilchrist there in the back. There's a PM's wife, Therese. She just lost it, right? And literally the Prime Minister of Australia is just handing me back my hand. But I tell you this story because I wanted to stand out. I wanted to make sure that the Prime Minister would never ever forget that moment when he met Sam Cawthorn. What do? That when you meet someone, they have the amazing privilege of meeting you. What do you do to make sure that you stand out from everyone else? Because you know something? There are more people out there right now that are currently fighting for the same space that you're fighting for. Our market today is more saturated than any other time in history, which is why it is imperative for us to position ourselves in this saturated market.